Okay, so this is a video on how to do the LBRP, Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram. The way I'm facing east. This where the camera is. This is west, and so it's important to always start in the east. The full symbology on it. There's a few different things. I'm not here to talk about that. I'll probably talk about that in another video. But always start facing east. And what you'll want to do is put your feet about a shoulder's width apart. First of all, what's the intentions of this practice? The intentions for me, there are two that my mentors taught me. One is to clear the space, clear the energy. So this is why it's important to do every day. It's like brushing your teeth energetically, where you're clearing the space out. So if you went out in public or you're around people, or just being, even scrolling the internet, anyone we look at, we're exchanging energy. And so it's good to just clear our space as much as possible. So the number two thing is that we are basically uniting the physical and the spiritual. So the LBRP is meant to be a precursor to greater practices or rituals that you might do to manifest things. So this clears energy out, clears the space, sanctifies it, and then I'll also usually after this do the lesser banishing ritual of the hexagram, but that's another video. What I would say though is starting here, if you were to have a bare minimum practice every day, it would be the Kabbalistic cross and the LBRP. That's like a 10-15 minute practice. Once you've done it in the beginning, while you're learning it, it could take a little time, but it's not too hard. So I'm gonna go through it here and just share with you the process. So first, what I always do is I like to move my body or use my body to also basically align it with my visualizations. And our body is conscious, and when we do things with our body, it's going to be set as a trigger over time. So I know when I do this, for me, what I'm doing as I do this is I'm also imagining brilliant white light greater than the sun coming down as I'm breathing in. So imagine it's like the light is coming down into my body, covering my body, and I'll usually do a few breaths, filling my body with light, and then I'm putting the light into the earth. So what I'm doing is I'm charging myself up with chi, with prana, to then I'm going to use this later on to draw pentagrams, the shape of a star. So I'll have another video that talks about why pentagrams, why the shape of the star, but there's so many different reasons. For one, if we spread our human body, or our body out, our arms and legs, we make the shape of a star. So there's a lot of symbology, just basic one, a lot of symbology with that. I'll make a whole other video about that. But what you do is you start in the east. Once your body's full of light, what I like to always do as a precursor is the Kabbalistic cross. So that's where I put my fingers to my forehead, always using my sword mudra to aim the energy, but I'm putting it here in my head, and I'll say Te, and I'll imagine brilliant white light, brighter than the sun, coming like a spotlight down to the center of my heart. And then I'll breathe in light, and then I'll go from my head to my heart, the center of my chest, and say Malkuth, and I'll imagine that brilliant white light going down all the way to the bottom of existence, same brilliant white light. And then I'll go to my right side, Vegebuddha, and in between each one of these, I am also breathing in light. And I'll imagine it going all the way up to my right side, all the way to the end of existence, breathe in light. And then the left side, I say Vegedula, and I imagine this brilliant white light going all the way to the edge of existence on my left side. And then I'll put my hands together and I'll say the Alam, Amen. And when I do that, I'm imagining all the directions of light, that whole thing getting brighter, basically the cross of white light. So once I've done that first, then I'm ready. Once I breathe in some light, center myself, put my feet a shoulder's width apart, I'm ready to do the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. So for banishing, there is two ways we draw the pentagrams. One is to bring energy in, and another is to push it out. We want to start with the banishing. We want to clear the space before we bring energy in, so that way the energy we bring in is pure, okay? So we start always, and those will be backwards because of the video, but I use my right hand sword mudra, and when we're drawing the star, we always, for the banishing, we start at the bottom left corner, and we go up and then down, and it's just like drawing a star in school. If you remember that, and like for me, it was in school, in kindergarten and stuff, I would always draw these stars. So starting from the left, going up to the top, going from the top to the bottom right, from the bottom right up to the top left, from the top left straight across to the top right, and then back down, connecting it at the bottom left again. That is a banishing pentagram. So what you'll do is after you breathe in the light, you draw that pentagram and you imagine this light coming out from the earth, up through your body, and out through your sword mudra as you're drawing the star. So I imagine this star, this pentagram, is brilliant white light as I draw it. And sometimes I'll also, if I don't feel like it's bright enough, I'll do at least 1 or 2 breaths, breathing light into it. And I charge it, what my mentor has taught me is to charge it with the names of God. And there's different names of God for each direction. So the direction into the east is similar to Jehovah, but it's pronounced Yehovah. So after I draw the pentagram, I'll point my sword mudra directly in the middle, and I'll charge it with that word, Yehovah. So I want to vibrate it when I'm saying these words. You'll notice as I've done that, as I'm charging things, I'm vibrating it, because everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. And these sacred names of God, they have a specific frequency, specific sound. And they're also communicating with specific parts of our subconscious and the world around us. After I draw in the east, I want to connect them with a circle. Imagine a circle of light connecting from the east. Now I'd be going over, to the south. And same thing here, breathe in light. And then I draw another pentagram. Okay, from the bottom, starting from the bottom left, imagining this brilliant white light coming all the way through my body, through my sword mudra, to create this star. And then this one, I charge it with Adonai. Adonai, another name for God. So I then will connect over. Sometimes I'll stop here also and breathe in light. We have to be, as we practice, we get better and better. We are literally moving energy. So when you're moving this light, I say breathing in light and letting the light go through you. This is chi, this is prana, this is life force that is moving through you. It is very important that you charge up, okay, that you bring it in before you send it out and do things, or else you're going to start feeling empty. You might find that when you start doing this, if you're yawning, this is a thing when we start to run low on energy. If you're drawing this and you just start yawning randomly, it's because you don't have enough chi or prana cultivated. And you're taking all your chi and prana from your body. Your body needs some to operate, okay? And so you want to make sure to breathe in light, breathe into the earth, make sure you have extra, and then doing these practices. Okay, so I'm going to do another one. I'm going to go around and I'm going to be facing from the back. But the same thing here. And this way you can see me drawing the pentagram. I'm going to kind of draw it from the star. I'm going to breathe in light. This time I'm facing west, right? And I start from the bottom left. I go up to the top. And I go down to the bottom right. And then I go up to the top left. Over to the top right. And then down. That's the banishing, okay? And I imagine this brilliant white light that I breathe in, going out, drawing the star. And then this one, I charge it with Ehiye. So I put the sword mudra right in the center and I go Ehiye. Okay? And then same thing as I'm doing, I'm connecting this hoop, connecting each pentagram in each direction, each banishing pentagram. And then I breathe in light. This time I got to do a couple of them. As I'm doing this with you, I'm also visualizing it, so this is extra real, so you can see the energy. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. For me, I can feel the energy flowing, so. Okay, so I breathe in light, breathing into myself, flex my muscles sometimes to force it to my different energy centers. And then this is the last pentagram, which is to the north. And this last one, I charge it with Agela. Agela. La. Okay, so now I come back and I connect the last two. So I've started in the east. So now I've drawn one in every cardinal direction. I breathe in light. Breathe in light again. And now I'm going to say the angels, the 4 in every direction, and then 2, 1 above and below me. So 6 angels that each have a specific color associated with the angel. And this color is said to also be associated with a specific energy or frequency, and also said to be associated with different parts of our subconscious. And so whatever the intention is, whether you see it as an angel or you see it as an energy or a frequency, does not matter. The key is how vivid and intense your visualization is. And so for me, it's a lot easier to visualize an angel than to visualize an energy. You get what I'm saying? So as time goes on, you'll get better and better with visualizing the energy. But I always start with Raphael before me. So this is the way that I was taught. So you go before me, Ra, and I'm going to vibrate the name of the angel. Now, Archangel Raphael, he is gold. And so I imagine a big angel with golden robes, okay? And he also has a caduceus. And so I'll vibrate his name before me, Raphael. This is exactly how I do it. And then I imagine this figure that's huge, that's greater than, it's massive, huge angel. And I'm going to do each angel in each direction, but the thing is when I'm saying the names of the angels, I still just stay facing the east the entire time. Me, I just like to put my hands in the center. There's no special way to do this. The most important thing is your visualization, how vivid your visualization is, okay? So I'm going to breathe in light again. And then behind me is Archangel Gabriel, who is associated with the color blue. So I'll see the big angel with blue robes, also associated with a, a chalice. I see like a big silver cup, basically. So same thing, vibrating the name, breathe in the light. Behind me, Gabriel. And I imagine this massive figure towering over me, an angel. And then to my right side is the next one, that's Archangel Michael, who's associated with the color red. And Michael is also associated with a big sword, okay? So imagine a big angel with a big sword. Breathe in the light. At my right hand, Mikael. And I imagine this massive figure covered in red with a big sword over here, just towering over me and covering the space, everything that way, in that direction. And then to my left side is Archangel Uriel, who's associated with the color green, dark forest green, also associated with a big coin, or they call it a pentacle, which is a coin with a star on it, okay? So same thing, breathe in light. Uriel. The pronunciation does not matter as much as the visualization does, and how real it can feel that there's an angel next to you. The more you practice, the better it will get. So there's 2 more. Above me is Metatron, who is associated with brilliant white light. He's like consciousness, said to be sitting in a crystal throne. And then below me is Sandalphon. Sandalphon is associated with brown and has the, what do you call those? The horn of plenty. I've seen them in like old school Thanksgiving things. Not that Thanksgiving is a cool thing, but it's like the basket with the horn and all the fruit and stuff coming out of it. Just search horn of plenty and you'll see what I'm talking about. So these are the last 2 angels. I'm just going to go through them, okay? So I breathe in light. Above me, Metatron. And then I do the same thing for the bottom. I breathe in the white light. Below me, Sandalphon. So and I imagine this angel below me, and now I'm completed with the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. That's it. So now obviously I can go on, but what I would do here in my regular practice, what I just did is I cleared out I cleared out the earthly energies, okay? So then when we do the hexagram rituals, it's the next level. That's clearing out the planetary energies. These are the higher frequencies. So it's better if you're just choosing one practice. To me, this is like the best practice to do. So in my techniques, if you've seen this video, then you probably see me talk about the chair sitting practice, where you sit in a chair, you squeeze your whole body, and you say, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake, right? That is supposed to lead to higher consciousness, to doing other things such as Tai Chi, moving the energy. And this energy, and also customizing that muscle flexing practice, and learning other things. Because when we're bringing in chi at a higher level that we've never done before, we are going to also raise our consciousness at a higher rate than ever before. And so those practices are meant to, over time, wake people up. After doing those practices for a while, I think that people get to a point where if you have been doing that practice, this practice I just said, the LBRP, if you can do it really good and get good with your visualizations, I would make this your new daily practice and replace it with, replace the wall or the chair sitting practice. Now, if you can do both, that's the best, right? But if you had to have a minimum where you're just choosing something for 10 or 15 minutes, I know this video is going on for 16 minutes, but I described every piece of the process. You can do that LBRP in like 5 to 7 minutes, realistically, when you practice. So just takes time to memorize. So, okay, that's all I got. All the love.